broadcasting.
This meeting is being recorded.
And so we'll start having people come on in. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to put us live to Facebook. So see on your controls if you could do the same from those three dots where it says more. I'm going to put it on my page and see if it'll pop up for you. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We have Karen, Rhonda, Roy, Jerry, Sonia, Tracy, welcome. Veronica, Virginia, thank you for joining us tonight, guys. And we are live on Facebook. So if you know anyone who wants to join in, it's not too late. They can still see us live on Facebook. They could go to @blackmindsmatter.com. Annielle, do you want me to put yours on Facebook as well, like tag you in it? I don't know if I got your, let me see if I can do this. If I got your social. So what's your Facebook?
Annielle Timmons.
Oh, you were able to share it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So you're good. Yay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So guys, guess what? This is the last Mind Health for our summer break. That's so sad to say, but I think I want a break too. So it's sad, but it's not too sad. We're gonna get a little break. We'll resume back in September. Dr. Tati and I are working on the different topics. So if you have some topics, put it in the comments section. Or even when you do your Survey Monkey, we'll be looking over those as well. So I think with that, we are going to get started. You can put your comments in the, if you're on Facebook, you can put your comments in the comment section. I'm going to make sure that Annielle Timmons gets them, and we'll be answering questions throughout our program. So you'll have a lot of feedback for whatever your questions or comments are. And so just a few housekeeping notes. Well, first, let me introduce myself. My name is Roxana. I'm with the Black Mental Health Alliance. This is one of the initiatives that we partner with Kaiser Permanente. Just for a few housekeeping notes, everyone is muted except for a panelist. You can put your questions, like I was saying, in the chat, and we'll also still have a question and answer period afterwards. For us tonight, I just wanted to make sure that you know a little bit about our initiative here. So for the Black Mental Health Alliance and Kaiser Permanente, we came together for Good Health, Great Hair, Mind Health Shop Talks as a mental health component of the Good Hair, Great Hair initiative. I'll have Dr. Tati Warren talk a little bit more about that. But usually we're in person in the barbershops and beauty salons in West Baltimore. And guess what, y'all? This fall, we're going to be back in person. But guess what? We'll still have our video feed. And I've taken a lot of feedback from everyone that's saying they want to keep the video, but they also want to be in person. So that means we'll have different neighborhood vendors that are going to be feeding us. We're going to have activities. We'll be able to participate in the Mind Health Shop Talks together. And that'll be this fall. So starting in September. All right. So we're really excited about that. So just before we had got on, I really wanted to find a quote for us. And I was trying to branch out, but Dr. King has the best quotes, y'all. So if you're ever trying to feel motivating and getting through things, this one, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. And that just resonated so much for me today. So I just wanted to share that with everyone. And so for our partnership, I wanted to introduce a very, very special lady. She is new to the Good Health, Great Hair. She is our consultant from Kaiser Permanente that does the Mid-Atlantic region. programming. She assists with programming and a few other things. I don't even know all the things that you and Regina do. I was really surprised to hear all the things that she does with the youth and everything. So I just wanted to introduce Ms. or Dr. Tati Warren. If you could just tell us a little bit more about what you're doing in Kaiser Permanente's programming for this summer. I know you got a lot of stuff going on with the vans.
Thanks so much for that introduction, Roxana. I'm excited. And you said it best. In the fall, we will return back indoors with our barbershops and salons. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm excited that we get to finish virtually on a bang on this evening. So yes, I am Dr. Tatiana Warren, most affectionately known as Dr. Tati, and I serve as Kaiser Permanente's program and evaluation consultant for the Mid-Atlantic region. Primarily under my portfolio of work has been the GoVax campaign, which I've, of course, provided updates here, and as well as now the Good Health, Great Hair initiative, continuing to partner both with Kaiser Permanente's mobile health van and Total Healthcare mobile health van to provide clinical services right in our communities, right at your doorsteps. So we have 6 salons and barbershops located in the West Baltimore area. And we do all sorts of biometric screenings twice monthly. We will definitely share the QRS code so you can stay up to date with all of our dates, our times, and our locations for those events. Our next event is actually at Vanity the Salon, and that will be 10 to 2 p.m. on Saturday, July 9th. So more information to come at that event. But you can do anything from vaccinations to blood pressure checks, to your cholesterol, to your A1C glucose check for your diabetes, just a host of biometric screening. So I'm excited that we can continue to provide those services. And as Roxana has shared, you know, we've been at this for now to almost 2 years, and we've been able to serve over 65,000 Marylanders to date with the combination of both our GoVax campaign and our Good Health, Great Hair initiative. So I'm excited to bring greetings on behalf of Kaiser Permanente. I am looking forward to the conversation with our life coach this evening about overcoming fear and all sorts. So hold on to your seats and stay engaged. Continue to stay engaged beyond today. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. And you know what I realized? I didn't even tell everyone what the topic was for today. So I apologize, guys. So the topic for today, I was rolling. I was like, I wanted to be on time. The resilient mind, y'all, the mind, body, spirit approach to self-care. And so with everything that's going on, we just thought that this was a timely message. We had to remix what we had originally planned, but I think this is going to be just as relevant, just as touching for all the things that we have to do, because just think about some of the things that we've gone through, the violence, the uprisings that have gone through this past month. I think this is going to be a very timely message. So I apologize for that. And so next I wanted to have the executive director of the Black Mental Health Alliance to come and give a few words about what we're doing here at Black Mental Health. So Ms. Andrea. And I see that Shannon Delgado, I will message you privately, Dr. or Mr. Willie. I will definitely include your email on some of the events. So I guess we did lose Andrea. What I'll do is maybe she'll swing back at the end. Sometimes the internet, the technology issue is what it is. So we're going to keep it moving. But Mr. Willie, everyone that at the end of this event will get a follow-up email. I'm going to have some information from our speaker, Ms. Annielle Timmons. I'll have information about the Kaiser Permanente's wellness van. I won't be out there this weekend because we had some Pride events that we already had scheduled, but hopefully Black Mental Health Alliance will be there for the next events they have upcoming. So with that, I'm just going to go over real quick for Black Mental Health Alliance. Our mission to develop, promote, and sponsor trusted, culturally affirming educational forums, trainings, referral services. So we have a Connect to a Therapist service that Ms. Cheryl Maxwell helps people connect with a therapist, make sure that, these therapists are taking new clients, they take their insurance, they're in a location that is close to them. And all of this is in support for the health and well-being of our Black people and their communities. So just a little bit about Black mental health. I know Andre will have more. We are a membership organization. We don't do the direct services of providing therapy. We just connect people with therapists. So I'm so excited about this speaker tonight. Why? Because I'm telling you guys, if you're a good person and you just make sure you keep doing the right things, I just showed up to this meeting and saw this person's energy and just knew that, it's going to be fine. Every time we have to do a remix, it's always for a reason. So that's why I know tonight is going to be awesome. So for our speaker tonight, Ms. Annielle Timmons is a mental health expert who helps individuals create resilient, thriving mindsets, lifestyles, and atmosphere. She currently serves as a motivational speaker and a life coach residing in Tampa Bay, Florida area. She has a master's degree in clinical social work from the University of South Florida. She also served several years as a mental health clinician, guys, so she has a lot of experience. She's helped people navigate through seasons of crisis, heal from trauma, developed healthy relationship skills, and achieve their desired goals. Annielle's life purpose is to help others overcome seasons of adversity, grow through what they've gone. I'm sorry, I messed up your quote. Grow through what they've gone through. I love that quote, and that's definitely going to be in our resource sheet. And be the best version of themselves. Annielle's background and personal experience of navigating seasons of hardship and change makes her a true story of inspiration and resilience. Welcome, Annielle. We're so happy to have you with us tonight. So I know you have a lot you're trying to get through. And we'll also have a time where you want to be more interactive, so people are encouraged to put their comments in the chat so that way we can respond to them in real time.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Roxana, for that introduction. And thank you for having me. I am so blessed, excited, and I am here to basically just spread light. I know that, we're living in a time where there is a lot going on. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to chop it up, you guys, together. I want you guys to interact with this presentation. It's not just a lecture. This is a discussion. So I want you guys to be a part of this discussion. I want you to join in. Let me know what you think. And let's go ahead and get into the presentation, okay? All right. So I'm going to go ahead definitely. Okay, and I think I have permission to share the screen.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go ahead and share the screen.
And I think we're going to remove our video so that way you'll be able to share and it won't have a delay. Because sometimes if it's more than one person, it'll have a delay on the screen.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, you're muted. Try it again. Well, let me see if I can ask you to unmute.
Okay,
And
so
guys, it's a lot of interesting comments in the chat. So I just want to say that if there's comments that are not towards questions about the presentation, I'm going to have to remove you because I want to be respectful to Ms. Annielle's time. Thank you.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the presentation. I'm wondering if I'm sharing it, if it'll allow me to. Okay, there we go. Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the resilient mind. All right, so we are living in uncertain times. There's a lot of chaos going on. There's been mass shooting, inflation. I know you guys have been pulling up to these gas prices, and it has been insane. And we've been experiencing a lot of stress, a lot of turmoil in our country and throughout the world with, Russia and Ukraine. And not to even mention the personal issues that we all have in our lives. Some of us have health issues, financial issues, relationships, and even adulting can be difficult. Just trying to get the work requirements done, attend to your relationships and your family, get to the gym can be a task. How many people can relate to that? Adulting sometimes can even be a challenge in and of itself. And so I want to talk to you about having a resilient mind. So I don't know if you guys are following, but go ahead and comment in the chat what you feel like it means to have a resilient mind. What does that look like, having a resilient mind? Okay. All right, Roxanne, are you on Facebook? I'm not too sure about the comments on Facebook.
Yes, I don't see any on Facebook now.
To be grounded. Okay, thank you, Nakia. Yes, to be grounded, that's great. Awesome. Yeah, so a resilient mind, to be able to withstand challenges, to be able to have a mindset that says that no matter what is coming my way, no matter what I'm facing or what is going on in the world around me, that I have a mindset that is firm, a mindset that is grounded, a mindset that says that no matter what's coming, I am going to get through this. So I'm going to talk to you about what that looks like. So we're going to talk about the holistic approach to wellness, that we must take care of ourselves, mind, body, and spirit. We all know that Black people experience more racism. We experience more microaggressions. We have a lot that goes into our day-to-day lives that our counterparts don't experience. So I want to encourage you guys to look within yourselves and find yourselves in this presentation and think about how you currently are taking care of yourself and share a little bit about what that looks like. And like I said, engage with me during this presentation. And again, I want to challenge you to be the best version of yourself. So whatever that looks like, if I'm sharing something, and you feel like, what, I need to do better with that, or what, I do a great job with that, I want to hear from you. I want you to share what that looks like, because we are one big community and there is no judgment here. But sometimes it just takes us to hear some facts, to hear someone share their story, to hear someone sharing about different strategies so that we can rise to that next level in order for us to be like, what, I can do better in that regard. So let's go ahead and talk about the holistic approach to wellness. So we're going to get into the mind. The mind is so powerful. As Roxana shared, I have been a clinician for years. And one thing I will say is that I realize that there can be a lot of things that influence how we think, that goes into how we think. And so I'm going to talk about the mind. So it's going to be divided into 3 sections in this presentation: mind, body, and spirit. So I also, before I get into mindset strategies, I want to just outline what that help looks like. So if you are in a place where you feel depressed, you feel anxious, you feel suicidal, and you feel like life is not worth living, I want you to reach out and you can contact the suicide hotline. I want you to be able to I want you, and I'll put that link. I'll have Roxana put that link and that phone number in the chat for you guys.
I'll find it now. We have it. I'm gonna send it in via the chat so that way people can have it.
Okay, but I want to encourage you to know that seeking help is not a weakness. It's actually a strength. I know that there's a stigma in the Black community that says that, you know, seeking help, getting mental health treatment, mental health counseling is a weakness, but it is not a weakness to decide to prioritize your mental health, to take ownership of your life. And seeking mental health treatment is a strength. There's people who want to pour into you, who want to help you. Like I said, I was a therapist for years and I loved what I did. And I mean, I have a trauma story of my own, so I can't judge. And I'm sure that the people in this field want to pour into you and they want to help you. So know that it's a strength. And so if you find yourself just having overwhelming emotions and feeling like life is not worth living, I need you to know that seeking help is a strength. And so reach out to a mental health provider and get help. I know that in our community too, talking about mental health medications can be taboo, but mental health medications can also be liberating. I'm not saying to rush to them, but I'm just giving you guys tools. So know that mental health treatment is a strength, okay? All right, so I'm gonna ask you guys a question, okay? This is gonna determine the quality of your mind. What lenses have you been looking through? What lenses have you been seeing your world? How have you been seeing what you're going through? What I've realized is that often it's our perspective that shapes our reality. And granted, a lot of us are experiencing pain. Maybe some people are experiencing grief. Some people are experiencing financial difficulties, relationship difficulties. But I want to ask you, what lenses have you been seeing through? What lenses have you chose to see your world through? And I want to encourage you to watch out for the victim's mentality. And what do I mean by that? I'm speaking from someone who I used to have that mentality. I used to rehearse my pain. I remember at one point when it was a woe is me, and I wasn't intentionally doing it, but I had experiencing trauma, and it was always a blame game, always a me reminiscing on what happened to me and thinking about it. And I know that's a trauma response as well, for us to think about what we've been through and to kind of have anger in our hearts towards those who wronged us and who caused the trauma. But I want you to be mindful of that victim's mentality, that mentality that wants to ruminate on some things. Because sometimes, y'all, it's our mind, it's us, and we sit there and we ruminate on what happened to us. We replay the hurt narrative of what happened to us, because we have to be mindful of that, because it can cause anger, resentment, and unforgiveness. Okay. So again, how have you been seeing your world? We go through things in life. Again, we experience crisis, we experience stress, which is common, and we experience difficulties. But remember, ask yourself, what lenses have you chosen to pick up to see your world? Know that your perspective is everything, and how you view what you're going through matters. So I want to challenge you to start being mindful of how you're seeing what's going on around you. Are you somewhat ruminating on what happened to you? Are you constantly complaining? Because our words have power, and what we speak has power. So you can easily take notice of your perspective by noticing what you talk about. It takes excessive discipline to talk about the things that you want instead of the things that you don't want, to talk about the good things going on in your life instead of the things that are going wrong in your life. So remember that how you see your world matters, and you have the power to choose what lenses you choose to see your world. That's what a resilient mind is. It's really about your perspective. It's about having a mentality that I don't care what's ahead, even though I'm walking through this valley, even though it looks like death is not death, and I'm gonna choose to see my world with fresh lenses, clean lenses. So the resilient mind is an active mind. It's an active mind because, again, you're disciplining yourself to see your world with a positive perspective. Do you know it takes no effort to grow weeds in your yard, to grow weeds in your garden? If you have a garden, you know what I'm talking about. But in order to grow something of purpose, it takes intention, it takes nurturing, it takes watering. And just like a garden, we too have to be mindful of what we plant. We have to be active in rejecting certain thoughts that are weeds, certain thoughts that are not going to help us, certain thoughts that are going to actually hinder us. But just like that garden, it takes intention to actually be mindful of what's coming in, to constantly filter through your thoughts and be mindful of your focus. So an active mind looks like filtering through your thoughts, asking yourself, is this a positive thought or is this a negative thought? Is this thought helpful or is this thought hurtful? Is this thought going to serve me or is it going to hurt me? And what I mean by serve me, right, is so if we go through our day and we spill coffee on our shirts, or we experience microaggressions, or we experience jealousy, or someone says something nasty to us and we ruminate on it, even though it happened at 8 a.m. It's now 3 p.m. and we're still thinking about it, and it's completely messed up our day. And then we start recalling all that stuff that happens to us. Are those thoughts serving us? Is that thought serving you? Think about somebody that you got mad at today, something that happened to you today. Have you been ruminating on it? Have you been filtering through what you entertain in your mind? Or are you just letting them thoughts come in unfiltered, take up space, take up residency in your mind? A resilient mind, again, is an active mind. Remember to ask yourself, is this thought going to serve me? Or is this thought going to hurt me? So again, remember to replace the unhelpful thoughts. When you notice a thought that is negative, to actively replace it with a positive one. And I know some of you may have heard this, but sometimes it's just great to revisit this, right? Because life can be difficult. Life can hand us our behind on a platter. And if you're not careful, you will soon find yourself in this perpetual state of ruminating on negative things, of complaining about things. If you really want to challenge yourself, go a week without complaining. Actively go a week without complaining. Go a week because you're going to begin to notice that when you begin to speak something like, you know what, that's not helpful. Okay, I was thinking that, that's not helpful. And it'll help you be mindful of your thoughts. And we have to do that again because a resilient mind is an active mind. So the moment you notice that a thought is not going to serve you, it's not going to help you, it's not going to help you get through your workday, it's not going to help you be that best version of yourself, it's not going to help you be loving and kind and pursue your goals and be the best mom or be the best friend, husband, employee, business owner, doctor, whatever you are in your world. Ask yourself, is this thought going to serve me? And remember that a resilient mind is an active mind. So let's talk about the body, okay? So here are some statistics that I find very alarming for, as far as Black women go. Cardiovascular diseases killed nearly 50,000 Black American women annually, okay? And so I'm giving you guys these statistics so that we can change, we can be proactive with our health and our wellness. Because from even doing my research, we're like the least likely woman group to work out. And we have reasons. A lot of us are the head of our household. A lot of us have children and some of you guys have children and you're focused on caring for them and you're working and you're doing all these things. And so I've seen that working out could even be a luxury for some people. But what I want to do today is give you these statistics to not convict you, but to challenge you to change. How can you change this? We don't want you to be another number. That's what the Black Mental Health Alliance is all about. We don't want you to be another statistic. We don't want you to be another person suffering with mental illness or physical illnesses. No, we want you to be the best version of yourself. So cardiovascular diseases kill nearly 50,000 Black American women annually. More than 50% of Black women in America have hypertension compared to 39% of white women. African American adults are 60% more likely than non-Hispanic white adults to have been diagnosed with diabetes by a physician, okay? 60% more likely. That's crazy. 4 out of 5 African American women are obese or overweight. And you guys, the reason that's important, because I know y'all, we have some nice bodies. Like, let me just say, okay, we wear it well, but we have to keep in mind that being overweight and obese can lead to chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes and heart diseases and cancers. It just makes us more susceptible. So we have to really be mindful of our weight. We have to really intentionally watch what we're putting in our bodies, which I'm going to get into. And these statistics, again, y'all, is to wake us up. Because I know you look good, honey. You know, you eating whatever you want, but what about your health? Okay. Of African American women ages 20 and older, 49% have heart diseases. 49%. It's almost half. That is alarming. So I want you guys, again, to find yourself in this presentation, in this discussion. And I want you to think about your self-care currently. How is your self-care? Know that self-care is a form of self-respect. You deserve to take care of your body. You deserve to be able to work out. I even read online about how a lot of women don't feel comfortable in the gym. Well, if you have an iPhone or you have a computer, you can get on YouTube. You can do workouts at your house. But know that self-care is a form of self-respect. And I always flip it on you. What can you do? Like, what can you do? What does your workout look like? Does it look like going for a walk, pushing your child in a stroller, going, taking a dog, out, whatever that is? We're going to get a little bit into that. So your nutrition matters. Your nutrition helps you to be the best version of yourself. That is what helps you to have healthy weight management. It helps your organs. It may help you live longer, builds immunity, helps with weight management, diseases, decreases your chances of chronic diseases, skin, hair, eyes, and teeth. I know y'all are all about your glow up. Eating healthy does that for you. Helps your support your digestive system and may help you feel better. I know when I eat healthy, I feel 10 times better. And so a lot of that tiredness we feel and when we don't feel good, it can be accredited to our diet and our nutrition. And so I also hear people say, oh, it's expensive, it's expensive. You can get online, look at affordable, healthy grocery lists. And you can see that oatmeal is pretty affordable. You can get some eggs, you can get some fruit, water. And let's talk about too, like your quality of juices and your drinks that you're choosing. We have to be mindful of our sugary drinks. Just today, y'all, I went to a smoothie place thinking I was doing myself doing a good thing. I just had left the gym. And I got the smoothie or whatever, and it was they said they were promoting all these different types of smoothie, and it had like all this green stuff in it. And I was drinking it, and I'm like, oh, this is a little too good to be healthy. And it was packed with sugar. I actually I didn't even finish the whole thing. I had to pour half of it out. But some of the stuff that we think is healthy, like the sugary drinks, excessively drinking all those different juices and stuff, you might as well eat a fruit. Eat some fruit and go on about your day, because a lot of it's loaded with sugar, y'all. And so we have to be mindful of what we're putting in our bodies. If you don't like, eating a salad, juice, or do a smoothie. You can do frozen vegetables. There's so many different things that you can do: salmon, chicken, beans, rice. Be mindful of your rice. Brown rice, I definitely suggest. But again, let's be more mindful. Let's take care of these bodies, okay? Let's take care of these temples. And so let's talk about fitness. So fitness matters. Fitness helps to decrease the chances of heart disease and high blood pressure, decreases the risk of high blood cholesterol, decreases the chances of type 2 diabetes, lower the risk of getting cancer, and it also increases your confidence. Don't y'all know that? I don't know about y'all, but when you finish working out, your body naturally releases, happy hormones. You get the endorphins that make you feel good. And it also, when you start to see those changes, you feel good about yourself. It helps with your confidence. And it also leads to better sleep, better mood, and to provide stress relief. And I want to check in real quick with Roxana. Do you see any comments that you want to kind of note?
Sorry. So it was a little delay. People actually did give you feedback for your first question, but so Sylvia Aileen, I think you say her name that way. She said, I'm on YouTube doing yoga, practicing every day in the privacy of my home at my own pace. It's very invigorating. And I just, for some of the older folk, my mom used to do Denise Austin back in the day, and she has like a whole YouTube full of brand new videos she uploads every week, and it's totally free, and they're 10-minute workouts, wow. 15-minute workouts. So hopefully people look, and I'm about to put in the chat what you were saying about getting the healthy choices. We have a lady called the Black Ghetto Vegan, and she went to different dollar stores and corner stores, and all she bought was vegan healthy options. And she said it was hard because she didn't have any choice, but if there's a will, there's a way. So I'm going to put her link into the chat as well.
Absolutely. Love it.
So I don't have anything on Facebook yet.
Okay, shout out to Sylvia for that yoga. I do YouTube videos as well when I'm not able to get into the gym. And it really does help. Me and my boyfriend sometimes will work out together and go outside, or we'll go and we'll skate together. You can do so many different things, y'all, to stay in shape and to take care of yourself. And I also want you guys share about what you do for your workout regimen. What is that thing that you do? Roxana, do you want to share with us what you do for your workout?
So right now, to get my morning started, it sounds crazy. I walk with my two little pups and my husband, and then I'll either bike or do weights with my daughter at the gym, because I think after a lot of times of doing like the high reps, my body just wants something that's more calm. So it's like walking and then making sure I get on my bike with my Peloton. And then after that, I'll just chill out, do some weights, try to get my fitness in.
Good for
I've been
you.
trying to get one of our co-workers into that as well. She's on the line, Ms. Lynn Johnson. And Andrea Brown, our goody two-shoe, our fellow. She's our health guru here at Black Mental Health Alliance. She runs daily, y'all.
Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. I love it.
And she eats very healthily.
Good. I love that. I think that is so important though, that like kind of like how you share, you have versatility in your workouts, because the gym is not for everybody, and some days you might feel like going to the gym. Some days you might feel like going out and walking the dog. Some days you may feel like you want to go skate, because that's what I do. Skating has become my thing, and
very good
working
exercise.
out. So definitely,
and you know what, Janine, another coworker of ours, says she also uses a tension bar, resistant band. She bikes daily. Sylvia said she'd check out Jasmine Stanley, if she can do it, you can. That's a good one. Lynn said, oh, okay. My team keeps putting me in a healthy state of mind. Water aerobics. Oh my goodness. Yes. Water aerobics is so great to reset.
I love that.
What works.
I was just going to say that. So let's kind of talk about water aerobics, because I know that I was reading about Black women and why we don't work out a lot of the times. And there was a study that said that we are very image conscious. We care a lot about our hair, and we care about how we are presenting and looking in the gym and when we're out. And sometimes we can have that insecurity. And so I think it's super dope and amazing that, let me see who said that about water aerobics.
Janine.
Janine,
yes.
Because it is extremely rare, you know, for us to be working out, Black women, but then to be doing water aerobics, yes. So that is wonderful. So I want to kind of talk about that too, because that was an intervention that they were saying about getting Black women to work out. It's kind of talking about some things that you can do with your hair, right? So I know for me, if I'm about to go somewhere afterwards, you know, I bring my straightener, I'll bring my crimper. However I'm doing my hair, I will bring those tools with me so that I can have them on hand. So when I finish, you know, I'll put my hair in a ponytail. You know, it really just depends. I've done the braids in my hair. I see a lot of women in the gym with their bonnets on. They'll have their head scarves on, but whatever you can do to just, you know, put some on your hair, but just know that a lot of people aren't, you know, paying attention. People are in there working out. You know, I think a lot of the times is that we can think that people, when we're doing something new, we can think that the world is looking at us and we can feel insecure. But the reality of it is we're not that important. You know, not to say that we're not important, you know, in general, but that people are really legitly in there working out, and that you should be working out too. And you shouldn't be concerned about your hair and different stuff like that, because at the end of the day, you know, I've had times I've become so comfortable in working out that I've had times where I finished a workout and I got one hair over here and a hair over here. And I mean, I just look a hot mess, and it is what it is, because I'm not in there to look cute. I'm in there to take care of my health and take care of my body. So, you know, know that when you're getting into the gym and you're getting into a routine, yes, you may have those reservations and those fears, but also know that, you know, people are in there to work out. People are focused. I know half the time I don't even look around when I'm in the gym. I go straight to the machines I'm going to, and then I'm out of there. All right. So also increased confidence, lead to better sleep, better mood, and provide stress relief. You guys, again, we deal with so much stress compared to our counterparts. If I didn't work out, I don't know what I would do. I mean, honestly, I've been to the gym one day last week. I went to the gym at like 10 o'clock at night because I was stressed out, and I just had to do some lifting. I had to get on that Stairmaster, and it was so relieving. So we have to have that stress relief, because again, remember, 49% of women, Black women, suffer with cardiovascular diseases, because y'all, we have a lot of things we're taking on. We experience a lot of microaggressions and racism and different things throughout our day. We got a lot of pressure. So we need fitness to help alleviate that pressure and to be a stress relief. So I want to challenge you to think about how you can include fitness in your lifestyle, because it's a lifestyle. It's not just the one-time thing where you're working out to go on your vacation, or you're working out because you're finna get married, or you're working out because you're about to be in your cousin's wedding. This is a lifestyle, okay? And so we have to remember to take good care of ourselves, especially, again, because we got to take care of our hearts. And so the CDC is recommending adults to have 150 minutes of moderate intensity of physical activity and 2 days of muscle strengthening activity. So, you know, getting on the treadmill, maybe like, you know, slight walking fast, power walking, you know, skating is great. What else? Really, anything fitness, swimming, all those different things, elliptical machines, weightlifting, all of those things are great. And sometimes you have to walk before you can run. So also, be willing to just start. And so I want to ask you guys, are you currently taking care of your body? Are you taking care of your body? I want you guys to comment in the chat. Are you currently taking care of your body? And if you are taking care of your body, what are you doing? What are those things that you're doing to take care of your body? Is it you're being mindful of your foods? Did you have a smoothie today? Did you drink your water? Did you mind your business? Okay. Okay, I can do better. That's real. I appreciate that.
I was just thinking,
Andrea,
I decided this year I would really start a face routine. So I make sure that I'm using my witch hazel. I have like a little thing that's basic, but I just decided I wanted to start that. So I do the witch hazel, then I put my collagen oil, put my little lotion. So it's just trying to make sure that I'm honoring taking care of myself.
I love that. A nice skincare routine.
I think Shania said, I have slacked off. It's okay, Shania. Janine said, I try. Okay, so Tracy said, worked out at my wellness center and reversed my diabetes. Good job.
Yes, Tracy.
So I think also Janine said, I try to make sure that I actually get up and do leg lifts and arm movements, I guess, throughout the day, which is very important. Making sure we're drinking our water, getting up and taking breaks in between work, I think is so important. Angie said, I do a lot, but I need to do more.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
All right.
Just making sure we didn't have anything on Facebook.
Okay. Nakia says, I have decided to do more skin and health routines, more activity, swimming and crocheting. I love it. That's a part of wellness, crocheting. I love the swimming. Yes to the skincare. All right, Ronza, I try to walk and eat right. Good. Okay. And so let's go ahead and get into our next one. So another natural remedy for stress is getting outside and getting sunshine. Spending 15 minutes outside with sun exposure can produce mood boosting hormones, serotonin, which can help you regulate sleep and help you feel better. It's one of your happy hormones and can help you also produce vitamin D, which is great for your bones. So getting outside and getting sunshine, I know some people may even live in areas where they might not have sunshine because it's important for your vitamin D and also your mood. Look up research. Research shows that adequate sunshine exposure helps you to feel better and feel more joyful. And again, there's science behind it. So you can also get a sunlight bulb, a natural sunlight bulb, which is great for, substituting if you don't have sunshine or you're not able to get outside. So when we had a lot of rainy seasons in Florida, I actually realized that I had a sensitivity to sunlight, that if I wasn't getting it, getting enough of it, I was getting pretty moody. And so I actually got a sunlight bulb, which was very helpful. So remember, you guys, let's get outside. Let's get some sunshine. It's very good for us. And then also, just little basic things like be proactive. Go see your doctor, okay? I think prevention is the best medicine. And regular doctor visits can help in preventing disease and managing health conditions. So again, y'all, half of us, are going to suffer from, cardiovascular disease, or going to experience, I should say, because we don't have to suffer with it. So take care of yourself. Do what you can do, drink your water, looking to just taking care of your body. I know I hear a lot of people say, well, I don't want to take another pill. I don't want to take another blood pressure pill. How are you going to regulate your blood pressure? Your diet, great, But if you start noticing that the diet is not helping, honey, you got to take care of your body, because your blood pressure plays a role in your other organs, your well-being overall. And I'm sure that you want to be here for your family, not even for your family. How about for yourself? Because I know a lot of times Black women, and women in general, we can tie ourselves to another person. But how about you do this for you? You do this self-care. You be proactive for yourself, because you matter. Not just because you're a mom or you're a sister or you're somebody's grandma. You matter, period. Okay? So be proactive, see your doctor, schedule those routine visits, take care of yourself. And I don't know who this is for, but drink your water. Okay? Drink your water. Okay? And speaking of water, I'm going to take a sip. I'm very thirsty. But so they actually recommend, the National Academics of Sciences, Engineering, Medicine recommends 15 cups of water for men a day and 11 cups for women. I didn't know it was that much, y'all. I always heard that the 8 cups, but I usually drink about a gallon just because I work out, and I drink more than that sometimes. But I even read another study and research that said that an easy way that you can tell if you're having enough water is whether you feel thirsty or not. If you constantly feel like you're thirsty, then you probably need more water. And also based on the color of your urine, is it a light yellow? Is it clear? I mean, let's just, I got to put it out there. Drink your water. Your water helps regulate your system, your body. It helps replenish your body. It helps also balance out your blood pressure and your urination system. Y'all, I took anatomy and physiology. I might have a master's of social work, but at one time I was going to be a nurse. But your urinary system is so important, and that's how your body gets a lot of toxins out, is through, urination. So drink your water, okay? I even brought a nice big bottle, a gallon, where it has the little quotes and stuff on it that, tells you when to drink it and says, keep going, great job, all those things. And you can get those off Amazon. But drink your water, okay? And so a question is, what's your why for health? What is your why? I think that in order for us to get into the gym, for us to challenge ourselves, to go for that walk, to get off the couch and stop scrolling on social media, to eat healthier, to not bring sugary foods in our house. Because when we bring that stuff in our house, y'all, I don't know about you, but my self-control ain't that great when it comes to things being within accessible, especially because I like sweets. But you have to have a why for your health. What's your why? Is it your family? Is it your children? Is it longevity? Is it for your confidence? Do you want to fit into that dress that you push to the back of the closet? Do you want to, I think it was Janina, I forgot who it was, but someone said that they reverse their diabetes. What is your why? Is it to be the best version of yourself? Is it for God? What is your why? You have to have a why. I heard a story about a doctor who was encouraging someone to change their health habits, and how he did so was he, looked at the scan of his arteries, and he said, wow, I can't believe that these arteries are in that young body. And he knew he had a child at the time, and he said, do you want to walk your daughter down the aisle? Or are you comfortable having someone else walk your daughter down the aisle? And what he was doing was he was getting him to think about that why. And so as a result, the guy ended up being in shape, getting in shape, and now he goes to the gym regularly. And so what's your why? Do you want to be present for your family? Do you want to be able to enjoy life and not have those long-term chronic diseases? Do you want to be able to be present for your daughter's wedding Or do you want to be able to just live a long and fulfilling life? What is your why? What is your why? And I don't know if someone wants to share it in the chat, but go ahead and put your why. What are some of your whys? I know my why is to be. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We did have a comment from Facebook. I just wanted to give her a shout out.
Okay.
Destiny Favors said she started keto and she's walking 3 times a week. She does 10,000 steps and drinks a lot of water a day. In response to how are you taking care of yourself? So go ahead and tell us how you take care of yourself.
Yes, shout out to Destiny. That is awesome.
Tracy said, I want to live today to enjoy my life and not just exist.
Yes, I love that.
Joshua says Ubuntu.
Yep, and I love that, Tracy, too, because I think it's one thing to just exist, but it's another thing to live and to enjoy your life. So I love that. And Ubuntu, I am because you are, right?
Yes.
That African concept, I love it. All about community, you know, and I love it. All right. So spirit, let's talk about this. And by the way, you guys, I also want to encourage you. One of the things that has helped me stay in shape and go to the gym even when I don't feel like it is accountability. You know, as Black people, especially Black women, we value our relationships. And so having someone who's going to hold you accountable to those goals, to your nutrition habits, to getting into the gym, and even who's willing to go with you, because I'm always a friend who's almost begging people to go to the gym because I just feel like I work out so much better when I'm going with someone. And so find an accountability partner for your goals. You know, if you know someone who goes to the gym regularly, if you know someone who's going to hold you accountable to those goals, and that's even like habits 101, you know, studies on habits, and accountability is one of the most effective things to help you, you know, achieve your goals. So I want to encourage you to have an accountability partner. I have someone, I know someone shared in the chat about how their team holds them accountable and their coworkers hold them accountable. So definitely have an accountability partner. And so spirit, I love the quote that says, we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And that's by Pierre Telehan de Chardin. And so spirituality is an individual's experience that gives a system of beliefs that governs their behavior, shapes their values, and provides a deeper meaning to their life. So spirituality can mean different things for different people. You know, it can look differently for everyone. I know for me, my faith is in, you know, in Christianity and God. And again, it guards my life. It guides my life. You know, it helps me to be the best version of myself. It holds me accountable. And it also gives life meaning and value. And it shapes and instructs our behavior. It also brings clarity to life. I don't know about you, but human suffering is something that I think that human beings, we struggle to understand and grasp. And I don't know if y'all are like me, but when I suffer, y'all, the sky is falling and all hell is breaking loose, and I feel stressed out. And so human suffering, the suffering of life and the pain of life can be very difficult. And we have to remember that mind, body, and spirit, that we have to take care of that part of ourselves, that spiritual side of ourselves, to stay grounded, to have clarity of mind. And because we're going to go through things in life. And I think in order to be resilient, we have to take care of our spirituality, our spiritual health. And for me, again, God brings clarity and understanding to suffering for myself. You know, when I have to experience suffering, it helps to know I have a deeper meaning and a bigger why. And so also a part of your spiritual health is gratitude. Research shows a correlation between practicing gratitude and feeling positive emotions, improving relationships, creating better experiences, and contributes to better health. So I want to encourage you to practice gratitude daily. Practice it daily. It's really phenomenal and amazing to see the studies of how people are transforming their health just by waking up and writing out a list of things that they're thankful for, and how that even leads to better outcomes, and even like reversing diseases. It's quite phenomenal. So gratitude is a superpower. I don't know if y'all practice it, but get in the habit of it. Instead of, like I said, challenge yourself to be mindful of what you speak in the atmosphere. Be mindful of the words you say, and intentionally practice gratitude. Do a gratitude challenge. And so some different spiritual practices, is that we can, in order to cultivate that spiritual part of us, is reading, meditation, silence, spending time in nature, journaling, praying. Oh, it looks like I have it twice. That's how important it is to me. It's spending time in nature, y'all. Something about being near the water for me is just so peaceful. It just reminds me of the beauty of life. It rejuvenates me. It makes me feel closer to God. It brings calmness. If you observe nature, you'll notice that there's a flow. That nature is not all about the hustle and bustle, but it just brings a sense of peace and calmness. And I think that spending time in nature it can be just very therapeutic, no matter what your spiritual background is. And also journaling. So anybody, go ahead and share in the chat what you find to be one of those spiritual practices that you enjoy. And I guess I'll ask Roxanne if you can check on Facebook. What are some of those spiritual practices people are talking about? And even for you, if you guys, Andrea, if you want to share what those spiritual practices are that you enjoy.
I don't think Andrea is on, or unless she connected.
Okay.
I think, her connection isn't doing that great. But I know for me, I think when I finally make myself be still is like a way that I feed my spirit and kind of reset, recalibrate.
I love that stillness. Absolutely.
Oh, Janine said listening to worship music is practice for me and reading the word.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. All right. Spirituality. So it acts as an anchor in times of stress and liberates you from the bitterness of life. Again, just like, it was shared in the chat about worship music by Janine and reading your word. I know for me, it does help to have a scripture that keeps me accountable and helps me to forgive and to be loving and compassionate. I think that when we do attend to our spiritual health, that it does help us to not be as anxious and not to be as bitter and angry and resentful. And it just helps put us in a different state. And so again, ask yourself, what do you need in order to feel centered? What are those spiritual practices? What do you need to feel centered? And I'm going to go ahead and just and recap as we wrap this up, is to remember to take care of yourself, and that the resilient mind is all about caring for yourself. So remember that the mind is powerful, and a resilient mind is an active mind that chooses the quality of thoughts. And remember that also you need to take care of your body, take care of your, to work out, and your nutrition and your fitness matters. And then also spirituality, it brings clarity and meaning to your life. So take care of your spiritual health. Commit to one thing, mind, body, and spirit, that you can do to be the best version of yourself. For your mind, is it going to be that you're actively going to filter through those thoughts that come in and intentionally be mindful of the words you speak, do the no complaining challenge? Are you going to, start working out, get an accountability partner? Are you going to look up a healthy grocery list? Spirituality, are you going to spend more time in nature? Commit to, okay, I'm going to go to the beach tomorrow. I'm going to go for a walk tomorrow, get some more sunshine, or do some meditation, read scripture, listen to worship music, whatever that is. What are you going to do to be well, mind, body, and spirit? And so again, I want to challenge you to grow through what you go through and to make a decision to be committed to your health and your well-being. Again, also, y'all, I'm a life coach. So if you are struggling, you can go to AnnielleTimmons.com and you can book a life coaching sessions with me. I have a bounce back life coaching program, and it helps you bounce back from trauma or breakups or any kind of transition in your life to navigate that in a healthy way to be the best version of yourself. I also have a confidence curriculum life coaching program that has evidence-based techniques to help you be the best version of yourself, whether you are struggling with low self-esteem and feeling adequate, or you are an executive and you want to go to the next level in your career. I have a program for you. And then also some e-courses, y'all, I just released. So I know that Roxana said she will share them, but you may also go to, let me see, I believe it's Teachable. Go to my website, AnnielleTimmons.com, and you'll be able to come across those e-courses on my website as well. And Roxana, you'll be able to kind of, I believe you said you'll put it in the chat, right?
Yes, I was just pulling it up now. So okay. I have your website is the first one for if you would like those life coaching. And, we've had several life coaches on here. Use them as a resource. It is life-changing. And I put the second link is to register for the training. Invest in yourself. You're not going to be disappointed when you do that. I know you already know that, but sometimes people need that encouragement. You have to, if you're able to put that money into yourself, getting those resources and tools.
Absolutely. So those e-courses, y'all, they're super to the point. They're not very wordy. I'm doing a majority of the talking. I'm giving you things that I have used in my season where I needed to grow. I needed to heal. I needed to bounce back. So this is 10 years worth of work, right? I mean, when I was 19, I had a life coach who brought it to my attention that I had low self-esteem, and she encouraged me to work on my self-esteem. So not only did I do the work, but then I also went to therapy and I studied it for all those years. So I give you guys all of that in that e-course, and you also get that in life coaching with me. So remember to grow through what you go through and be the best version of yourself, okay?
Awesome. So we also wanted to open up to any questions anyone may have. Please drop them in the chat. I had looked on Facebook and I didn't see any. Let me check very quickly because I was just making sure that we got all of your. So Destiny said she really enjoys meditating and listening to the voice of God. So that's definitely always a reset.
Absolutely. I feel like I hear God the most in silence. And so silence to me is a must.
It's hard for me to get there, but once I do, then it's like you don't hear any of the junk. You stop rethinking stuff. You get a peace. Absolutely. Oh, so Lynn says, I love it. Grow through what you, wait, Lynn, you got it mixed up. It's grow through what you go through. Right?
Close, very close. Grow through what you go through. Absolutely. Grow through
what you go through. Right, it's switched. Okay. So Andrea Brown said, I knew what you meant, Lynn. We knew what you meant. Not a question, but be intentional about carving out dream time. So Andrea put this in the chat twice. And do you know why, guys? She made it mandatory for us to do dream time. And guess what? Only one person has done it so far. I need to do mine. My other coworker needs to do hers. So we hear you. And I think it is important. And I know you can definitely talk about that.
I love that. And so I'm going to assume that dream time means take time to daydream. Is that what she means?
Yes.
and to about your goals. That is so interesting too. I posted on social media a few weeks back, is that dreaming is good for the soul.
Yes,
And so, yeah, I love that.
Janine said, love that dream time. And so we don't have any other questions. Did you want to share? I know I kind of gave you a time limit because I thought people would have questions. Do you want to share more for a couple more moments?
Sure. And I mean, we can kind of just talk about the growth through what you go through, right? Going back to the resilient mind. And the reason I briefly touched on the victim's mentality is because, again, y'all, especially as Black people, you know, we can come from trauma, we can come from things that happened in our childhood and circumstances. And what happened to me is that I found myself kind of like, when I became a therapist, I began to ruminate and I began to realize that I had went through a lot of things that I had forgot about. And as I was going through my training and I was going through my education, a lot of things had got resurfaced and I was re-triggered by a lot of things that I had went through. And I found myself doing a lot of ruminating. And I quickly had to be mindful of what it was that I was ruminating on, and recognize that the quality of my mind is going to dictate my outcome. And that if I wanted to move past the trauma, I had to truly forgive. And I had to also recognize that the people who caused the trauma did the best that they did the best they could with what they were given, right? Like majority of the time. And forgiveness is liberating, not really even for them, but for yourself, right? And so the resilient mind is all about, how is this thought going to serve me? How can I change my thinking? Okay, if I'm still suffering from trauma, what can I do to heal? Because it's about my healing. I have to take ownership of my life, and I can no longer blame mama, blame daddy of what I didn't get. That I absolutely have to do what I can so I can go higher in my life. And so that's what I mean by be mindful of what you ruminate on and take ownership of it, and don't have the victim's mentality. Because I know it's a lot of statistics out there, y'all, about Black people, and it can get daunting. And even with I'm all about the Black Lives Matter movement, and I love it because we need it. But I also want to encourage you to not let some of the statistics limit you and keep you from moving forward in life. You know what I'm saying? And so just to be mindful of the victim's mentality, be mindful of what you speak on about yourself, what you ruminate on. Start thinking about those people that you're mad at. How can I forgive this person? Like, why am I even mad at this person? You know what I'm saying? Because I know forgiveness comes in stages. You know what I'm saying? And it can be difficult. You know, I know that as Christians, especially, we're taught to forgive and forget. But sometimes, the forgetting part is very difficult. And so, if you need to get help, if you need a life coach, if you need a therapist, how can you do that to promote your well-being so that you can take ownership of your healing, so that you can be the best version of yourself?
And so I think that's a good transition as well, because I just thought about it. You're not doing the direct services anymore. You're on the other side doing some coaching, helping people navigate, because those are different things. Mm-hmm. Working through your trauma is going to be a different kind of coach skill. So that's definitely for a therapist to assist you with. But the life coach part is like the skills outside of that trauma piece that's going to help you navigate through to because it does show up in life, right? I guess.
Yeah, know yourself. Yeah. Know what you're, if you have experience, if your trauma is overwhelming and debilitating, and you are stuck in your bed, and this has been a cycle and it has been nasty, and you have a lot that is overwhelming you, you might actually need to go through an intensive therapy program, right? Know thyself. If you notice you can't get out of bed, and you're having suicidal thoughts, absolutely go to a clinician. Absolutely get that mental health piece, you know. So be mindful of those things. And again, I want to encourage you guys, not saying rush to medication, but medication can be very helpful and liberating. It can be a great tool to get you to the next level. And some people even need to be on it long term. And if that's you, there's nothing wrong with it, but go to a provider, okay? Because the thing about it is we're gonna cope, period. We're gonna find a way to cope. Yeah. You know, whether that's a healthy way or it's unhealthy way. Some people coping with food, some people coping with other drugs and different things like that. So whatever it is that you need, take ownership of your healing. Don't feel like, you know, embarrassed because you're going to see a therapist or you're going to talk to somebody about medication. It's a strength to take care of yourself. It's a strength to say, hey, I'm struggling and I need help. I have been there. I have a therapist. I have a life coach. I love it. Okay. You know, I will see it more, you know, if I had the time. But again, take care of your well-being. Seeking treatment is a strength.
Awesome. So I'm just looking here. I put our text, our call and text line for our Connect to a Therapist for Black Mental Health Alliance. And you can call or text that number, and Cheryl Maxwell, our program manager for that service, she will follow up with you and give you some options to get you started on that journey. Even if you don't have insurance, there are a lot of providers that will be willing to either do this service for free or with a sliding scale. So please don't let that be a hindrance. I put some of all of Black Mental Health Alliance social media. I also wanted to make sure that you guys know that Annielle's Facebook is at Annielle Timmons. So you can follow her on Facebook and on LinkedIn so that we can support her work and see all the things that she has coming up. And more importantly, for our funding to keep this program going, because really that's what's kept Mind Health Shop Talks free for everyone, because we do have costs for everything, right? It's free, but it's not free for those organizations that are hosting it. And one of the ways that we make sure that we keep being able to bring these awesome speakers is by filling out the survey. Tell us how great, not great, all of that stuff in the survey. There's also a little piece that you can suggest upcoming topics. Oh, good, great. So Annielle's Facebook is in the chat. Click it now. Make sure you open it so you can like and follow her page. So just please, when you finish this Mind Health Shop Talk, the survey will come up. If you can fill that out. We're on break for the Mind Health Shop Talks for the next 2 months, so that we'll use that time to get our fall programming, which is going to be exciting. It's going to be different things. Think outside of the box. Like maybe some of the things Miss Annielle was talking about tonight are going to be one of our activities for the Mind Health Shop Talk. So we're really going to have some different programming. We're going to be in person, but we'll still broadcast so that everyone will still have a chance to participate. So I don't know. Do you have any parting words for us for tonight?
No, just know that you guys are amazing. How you view your story matters, and that choose the lenses that you see your world. You're more blessed than you realize. You have more resources than you realize. And sometimes we just have to open our eyes and see it.
Yes. So thank you guys. I will be sending out a follow-up email that has some resources, and I will put the survey in the chat now before we hang up. But we'll be following up with the email with the resources, so it'll have like the websites, the phone numbers, all that good stuff that we put in. We'll have the social media. I'm just looking for the survey link that I thought I had opened up here. So here we go. I don't see it. I'm sorry, I thought I had the link on my little cheat sheet. But I promise it will pop up at the end of, well, actually, let me do this. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to do a little cheating on my PowerPoint here. Hopefully I can go back and cut and paste it real quick. But so yes, so hopefully I will see everyone in the fall. Thank you guys. Have an awesome rest of your night.
Thank you, Josh.
You were an awesome speaker. Thank you. Your first one out the gate.
Ah. My niece told me, she said, Auntie, you got to cross your hands. Ah, all right, got it.
Wait, that's you being the cool auntie. Just like I'm the cool auntie, the cool mom, you know? I'm the cool mom.
Cool. Yep, exactly.
Have a great night, everyone. Be safe. Have a great, this is the longest day of the year. Did you know that?
Oh, wow. No.
Yeah, it's when the earth is tilted and this is the longest day. So you guys have to get out there, do some gardening, do some walking, do some, some daydreaming outside, because it's still a couple more hours outside.
Oh, I'm going to go skating then. Thank you for that.
Yes. So I think if it usually, wherever you are, if it gets dark because I think we were going like 8:30, it starts getting darker, it'll be like closer to 9. So enjoy your extra sun.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
You did a great job. It was great.
Andrea, I didn't know you could.
Thank you, Andrea.
I'm on the phone. It sucks, but oh no, you got it. Great moderate, great nuggets. Don't be sorry. I just want you to know it was great.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I know, right? But I'll go do your thing.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
Good night.
Okay.